All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahawa Kakwadash. I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and in sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four quarters of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, this is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. And this lesson was inspired by a video that I saw a brother from Louisville, Kentucky, Kings of Wisdom, of your I think it's a Yasha Allah, but he did a video, and I saw the thumbnail and I looked up the article myself, and yeah, it's true, So the it says, this is from thehill.com. It says New York City to add COVID-19 checkpoints at bridges and crossings, and this is all a part of the prophecies that are written in the scriptures, man. A man shall desire. Matter of fact, I'll just get it. This is Second Esdras 15 verse 17. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. Right? Why are you not going to be able to go into these different cities? Because in boroughs, because of checkpoints, whether they be military checkpoints, because of uproars of the people are happening in those different places, or quarantine. And we said this years ago through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, starting off with our apostles and our elders, that there are going to be plagues in the earth, and people are not going to be able to go to one city. Like in New York, there are a lot of bridges that go from borough to borough. Well, according to this, they're supposed to be setting up COVID checkpoints at bridge crossings. It says New York City will add COVID-19 checkpoints at certain bridges and crossings to enforce quarantine restrictions ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. And right, Thanksgiving is a huge holiday. People like to spend time with their family from different places or whatever. You ain't gonna be able to go. You ain't gonna be able to travel. And how much more when this thing really heats up, man? It says Sheriff Joseph Fusido said Tuesday that among the actions authorities will take is conducting spot checks on passengers stepping off out of state buses. See, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Falsetto said testing the tracing teams will be scattering throughout the city to direct people to testing sites and educate out-of-town guests about quarantine restrictions. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced new measures for travelers early this month, requiring visitors to test negative for COVID-19 before arriving in the state, and then again once there. The measures were aimed at allowing visitors to test out of mandatory 14-day quarantine. It says New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio has said those who violate quarantine restrictions could face a fine up to $2,000. And this is heavy, man, because this is in the scriptures, man. Let's start at 14. The Second Esdras 15 and 14. Matter of fact, let me start at 1 and I'll skip to 14. It says, Second Esdras 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, and the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So these words are faithful and true. There's no lie in these things. These things are going to happen. These things are going to come to pass. And we know that Esau, you do things on exercise mode. So right now, you'll say, oh, it's just for the Thanksgiving holiday. But then what about when so-called Christmas comes up? It'll be the same thing. And in New Year's, it'll be the same thing. And all these different issues. So they eventually going to keep them there. Esau don't just do things just to do them. He actually has a purpose behind it, man. And that purpose is to get you to get that Maxine Waters or to get that seed, man, that chip. So it says, Second Esdras 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. You're going to have unrest, widespread unrest. I think this guy Joe Biden said that he's going to start giving people a $200 tax on buying assault rifles, man, and having high capacity magazines. So $200 tax. These people are going to be bugging out, man. All right, it says the sword, and it's gonna cause all these things. Gonna cause what? Sedition and dissension amongst the people, which is already there. It's already being fomented. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition, which is speech that's inciting people to rebel against their authorities. sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So yeah, you got all these restrictions, but you got people like, look, a lot of these people gonna feel like they're gonna do what they want to do, and they're gonna really be out here. You already see like violence is really on an uptick, especially in states like New York, cities like New York, you know. All right, and it says for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. They're not going to regard those stay-at-home orders. And the course of their action shall stand in their power. So they're going to do whatever there is in their power to do. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. New York City to add COVID-19 checkpoints at bridges and crossings. This is all getting you prepared for the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, man. These people are this is really happening. You can't make this stuff up. Okay? So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash. Say double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, and truth and sincerity for preaching and teaching in truth and sincerity, and for ruling well. Salutations to my fellow Akim. Keep pushing, keep striving. We almost out of here. Shalom.